Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. I am currently doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. If you're interested, shoot me an email. I'll give you more details. I'm going to use the information like the decks and dice. I'm going to put that all below. Otherwise, you should be seeing this on YouTube channel James13 Wicca, so I don't forget that. If you're not, let me know. And the last thing is, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for tuning in this time, and let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Taurus? You got the Queen of Fire and the Queen of Earth. Don't get caught up in the genders, but what I'm noticing, the first thing that's kicking right forward is that they're looking opposite ways on the cards, and I'm like, I don't know about this. Where are we going with this? That's one of the way I read as I'm more of an intuitive reader. So I notice these little things with the cards, like how the cards are interacting with each other, how the images on the cards interact with each other. And that was the first thing. And it's kind of like, even on the Queen of Fire here, this cat is looking down towards the Queen of Earth. Like, if I can get it back on here the way I was looking at it on the table. Like, am I imagining that they were... Yeah, this is how it was. Because you see how the cat's looking back, like over towards the Queen of Pentacles? It's kind of like, there's a lot going on here, but I feel like I'm questioning something. I'm like, what's going on here? We're going different directions, but are we really? Do we need to be? Should we be consolidating efforts here? Is that really rational? Could we actually make that happen? I think that's... Is that one card or two cards? I don't know. That's it? Just 3? Okay, well, it's just 4, because there's 2 there. That's fine. Okay, so something is trying to come forward. The past, it's where you've been with this situation. Whatever this is, especially if it's a specific person you're dealing with, either in a personal setting, a work setting, whatever it may be. I don't know how... Do I know? I don't feel like I really know how I feel about them. I feel like this is a conflict. Like, how do I explain this? It's like I'm seeing a reference of a person, like, there was certain things where I felt like I liked their energy. They seemed like a really good person. And then I saw other aspects, and I'm like, oh, but some of the stuff that they're involved in doesn't always go negative to a person toward like me, but sometimes goes very negative to a person like me. So I remember having that conflict with somebody, and I just never challenged it. Whether I should have or shouldn't, I didn't. Probably should have discovered that a little deeper, but I never challenged it. And I feel like this is similar, kind of like, I feel like they're a good person. I just don't know if we match on certain views in life. It kind of feels like that. So for this situation, it's kind of like, I believe in the integrity, but maybe not the process. It could be something along those lines. Like, I believe that they will adhere to their responsibilities and take that seriously. The process in which they make those responsibilities work may not be your flavor. So I feel like I'm kind of like, I like them. I don't know if I should be too close to them. One of those things. And I feel like I'm juggling that. There's good energy here, though. That's the thing. There's good energy here with that passion. Like, things work out, but it's kind of like, but the way it happens, I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is for me. Having a little bit of humility from my own past. There have been people where I feel I was a lot younger and I didn't listen to my own intuition, where I was kind of like, I like them. I should be able to work for them or work with them or whatever you want to say. And in the back of my head, they're kind of like, you do things different. I don't know. You maybe want to walk into this carefully. And I'm like, and I ignored it. I was like, no, it'll be great. They were hyper structured. I enjoy structure, but I like a little bit of freeness in it. And long story short, if somebody's like micromanaging and over controlling, it's only a matter of time before I will express my unhappiness with that. And I'm seeing this here, and they're saying like, maybe this is one of those things where you know yourself well enough where you're looking at this like, I know I have boundaries, I know I have a limit, I like this energy, I want to continue to like this energy, and maybe at this point you're like, for that reason I'm just trying to kind of be careful how close I get. I like them. I want to continue to like them. I want them to like me. So if we keep some distance, I feel like we can be successful with that. That might be one of the energies you got going on here, because I was just like, for a minute there, I was like, why are we showing this to me? Why are we going there? So I feel like that might be why. Especially when I'm looking back at I'm one of those people, school of hard knocks, is just how it works. And I learned the hard way. I should really listen to my intuition. Like, it's not like it's, I don't know, that's a whole different story. So this energy, I do feel like you are managing it to the best of your ability. And I do keep feeling that, like, I like them. I think they like me. I'd like to keep it that way. And maybe you're putting a little bit of distance there, but more is coming. More is coming. Okay. There's not just one path. Keep that in mind going forward. There's not just one path to the top of the mountain. I feel like the majority of us have heard that so many times in life. Ace of Swords coming in, information, opportunity, possibility. King of Fire is coming in with it. Something is very successful and possible here, but it's coming in with fire, which means we got to get on it. We got to do it now. We got to make it happen. If it's going to happen, this is where it happens. Especially if this is a work situation, it may not be elective in the sense of like, sometimes you're just involved in a work situation and here it is and we just got to handle it. Okay. Now, with that whole thought of there's a lot of different paths up the mountain, keeping your eye on the goal, like you have your goal, wherever that is. My interpretation of Taurus, just the base energy of Taurus, and there's a lot of different flavors of Taurus. It's like, it's not just your sun sign or whatever sign, whatever it's, there's a lot of different flavors that come into who you are. But base Taurus, they're very like, there's a plan, you stick with the plan, and the plan is the plan. Which my sign matches up with that, especially when I'm dealing with that Taurus energy. I'm just like, this is how that's going to go. And I accept it, and I'm just like, this is how that's going to go. And I'm like, we can get along well because I know that that's not a negotiable. That's how it goes. Whatever this situation is, I'm like, my voice is already cracking. It's kind of like remembering you're going up the hill, and there's a lot of paths up it. And, roadblocks and problems and issues are going to happen. And the challenge is to realize the plan will change. It's just gonna. And it's holding true to your goal. It's kind of like, all right, wait a minute. I know this path leads all the way to the top, but now part of it's blocked. Okay, I can go up this way a little bit, but I don't know where that leads. But it does get me a little higher up. And it's kind of like there's anxiety, like, yeah, this other path I can take, I can go higher, but is it going to take me to my goal? It's realizing that, like, I might have to change a few different times. And I hate to say this, but there may be backtracking once in a while. This is going to be one of those situations where if I just sit there and try to figure out all my options, it's kind of like you got to get there before the end of the day or you're going to freeze to death. You don't have that option. It's kind of like we have to get to the top of the mountain because that's where the warmth is. That's where the sanctuary is. We got to get up there. So we got to keep moving. Standing here and trying to figure out the best path, we're going to freeze to death and That's not going to work. So we got to keep moving. Okay. If this is already either happening or not, it's this oh. Again, I'm well aware of Taurus energy. I enjoy it. And also, like I said, when I'm dealing with Taurus energy, I'm like, this is how it is, and I just go with it. That's how it is. I'm a Pisces, though. We tend to get along with Taurans. Tend to. So, okay. So I feel like a lot of you are going to get in this. It's just going to happen the way it's going to happen. You're going to get into this. Okay. So hopefully these are oracle cards. Hopefully this is helping you have more of an advantage or more of a leg up on the situation or whatever you want to call it. Something to your benefit. It starts off where it's like, I feel it's kind of like, this is very rigid. The desert passage is like, there's not a lot here I can do. I just got to work with it in the moment. And I feel very restricted and not able to flourish the way I want to flourish, not able to do it the way I feel comfortable with. But it's like, I need to succeed. I need to move forward. What's behind this card is very interesting. It's discovering the truth, which means I think the energy you're dealing with, and this is a general read, take it with a grain of salt, the energy you're dealing with feels probably similar to the way you feel about them. They see a good person, but maybe the way you do things is not how they do things. But they're seeing a good person. That makes a world of difference. In my opinion, it makes a world of difference. They want to work with you on this. They do. There's going to be limitations, but they want to work with you on this. Ace of Wands is coming in next. Did I mention that? You got a couple aces coming in. You got the Ace of Swords and you got this one. I don't think there's any more. But still. The situation is going to have a lot of fire moving forward, a lot of quick action, a lot of random things that are just going to keep moving forward that need to happen for success to happen. They do have your heart, your thoughts, your feelings. It matters. To them, it matters. To me, it feels like it matters to them. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. There's a challenge with that because I feel like I have a moment here where I feel like I can try to control the situation here. This is your card. This is the Hierophant. I don't know if I'm imagining it, but I feel like the card's afraid. But that's not going to work. I'm just going to shortcut that. We can go down a few different ways where you could try to make that work. That's going to cause problems. That's not going to go well. What will work for this situation is realizing who you're dealing with and that they are equally invested in the success. Top of the mountain, sanctuary, we got to get there. It's not an option. We need to do it. It's like either you make it or you're going to have a hard fail, a really hard fail. The way this was on the table is like this. Like I feel like I'm following somebody within reason. I'm following somebody within reason. I'm doing what I can. It's almost like I'm trying to hang back a little bit and hold up the end part of the line. Like if we're going up this hill and say there's 50 people, I'm near the end of it and I'm keeping control of the end of it. And I'm, that way if we have to make a random decision and they have to try something, they'll find out first that it's not right and I can keep a lookout for other things. I do feel like I'm taking more of a follower energy here, which I don't think of Taurus as a follower, so it could be a challenge in its own. It's not for the rest of your life either, by the way. You can get through this. The situation can go to your benefit. But I'm also we're going up the mountain, right? We're getting to the sanctuary, right? That's the analogy we're using. I feel like when we get that far, like that's kind of, I feel like we've kind of learned enough about each other that we know where we stand. And I don't feel like this is a permanent connection for this life. The outcome I see over here is interesting to me. I like the quality that I'm seeing, but I'm respecting that this isn't going to work. I like the quality I'm seeing, but I feel like when I see the Three of Swords, I feel like you're going to know, all right, this worked out. All right, this was really difficult for me. I really had a hard time a couple times, but we made it. We did it. I got to the sanctuary. We all got to the sanctuary. I did my part. They did their part. But I'm like, I feel like when I'm looking back at the process of getting here, I'm like, all right, there's success. We achieved success, but I hated the trip. I just feel like I'm looking at it that way. Like, I hated the trip. I like them. I respect them. They did very well. This is not my thing. This is not how I do things. This is not how I this is not how I approach life, handle life, deal with life. This is not going to work for me. I can't do this all the time. This is a very rare instance. I made it through this one. Even though it's the Three of Swords at the end, I don't feel like it's, like, I don't feel like I'm completely broken down. I feel like I'm more like seeing it for what it really is and accepting that. That's the strength card with it. I'm seeing it for what it is. And I'm like, you know what? We're still in good terms. Things are still good. But it's like, I just don't feel like this is sustainable. And I feel like that puts me in a position where I need to make certain decisions. It's funny, but no, I feel like you're going to need to make the certain decisions. I can try to choke it up and make it happen, but I feel like for the people this is going to hit with, you know better. You know who you are. You know how far this can go. And maybe it's already kind of like, by the time you get here, you're like, I don't really have much left. It's kind of like the gas tank is on E, and I'm surprised I'm I'm surprised the car is still moving. Gas tank's on E. Is there any other, because I feel like I just have to let this go a different direction. I need to think about what options I have, and I have to choose something different. I don't know why I keep saying have to, because I usually cringe when I say stuff like that, but I really do feel like when you get to this moment, you're going to see this, like, where I see this going, if I keep down this path, I don't like that. I don't like that. To the point where I'm like, that's not really an option. Taurus does not choose failure. They don't. So I feel like I have to look at other possibilities, and I need to make decisions. You got the Hermit twice, by the way. It's telling me at this point, once I just address it and realize that things have to go differently for me, this isn't going to work. Doors open up that I wasn't looking for. Originally, I was not looking for these doors, and maybe they've been there the whole time, but it's kind of like, you know, I do have this other option, or I have that option, and I'm like, I feel like I have to choose something stable that I can live with. I feel like those of you who this is going to hit with, when you get to this part, I keep getting that. It's kind of like, no, I see it for what it is. I know how it feels in this moment, and I'm not willing to stick with something that I know is going to have a bad moment, that's going to probably tear down the house. I didn't get to this sanctuary to burn it to the ground. That's not why I got here. But now that I am here and I realize this isn't for me, now I got to find my way off this mountain and find a different mountain that suits me better. This one's too cold. I need to find one in a tropical climate. This one's way too cold for me. This isn't going to work for me. I don't know what I'm looking for, because I feel like we hit it, so maybe I should be letting go. Okay, I think I did. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm trying to wrap it up in a pretty bow, and they're like, no, it is what it is. For those of you that's going to hit with, you know what you're dealing with, so I think I'm just going to let it be. All right. Hopefully that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.